What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. We're a niche channel. And reserved for the best is super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at 6th_element_comics. Yeah, because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop. Yo. Yeah, because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop. You are at the sixth element of hip hop. I'm your host, Reno Noir. This is your co-host over here. No, he's over here. Stu Dog, what up? Yeah. One of these sides. Yeah, man. So we chilling in the Matrix, you know what I'm saying? We taking it down the rabbit hole. We voguing and shit. Oh, Stu, you gotta.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. What'd you say?
I said sometimes we gotta take it down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, you know,
like Jefferson Rabbit.
That's right. Who? Jefferson Rabbit?
Yeah, Jefferson Rabbit. 60 band from the 60s. So we gotta get out of this place.
Mm-hmm. If it's the last thing we ever do.
Yeah. We gotta get out of this place. So Reno, I don't know if you got the text I sent you, the emails. I know you're a busy man, you're a mover, you're a motivator, you're a money maker. Did you see the Todd McFarlane lineup of page punchers and other things that I sent you?
Well, DC? I saw the Green Lantern joint, yeah.
The Green Lantern joint is tough. That joint is tough. I can't even front on that.
Nah, there's two. I really want the Batman, and I really want the Black Adam, and I really want the Green Lantern.
Is there any possible way you can bring them up so we can show them to the audience?
Yeah,
I love a bunch of collectors.
Yep. Okay, wait. Why are you giving me? No. That's not. Yeah, page punchers. Come on. You know what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. So, you know what? It's gonna be way quicker if I just share the screen. Trying to download pictures and the whole thing, it's too much. So I'll just share you a screen of here. Someone's got it on eBay. So that is the Green Lantern. What do you call it? Page puncher. And so what basically Todd McFarlane's doing is they're selling these figurines. They're this big. They're little tiny things. They're no elbow or knee articulation. They're just very small, almost just a little trinket. It comes with a comic book. So I guess it's a gimmick, it's a promotion, but they're really cool because you got this flat, clear plastic package, and it's got the comic in it and the little figurine down in the corner. And there's a Black Adam one, there's a Superman one, a Batman one, a Green Lantern one. So let me try and pull up some of the others. So this was the oh, here we go. This might work. There we go. Page punchers. That's what he calls them. And these are the figures. Like they're really
those are
cool.
The bigger ones. Now those are the bigger ones.
Wait,
those are the ones.
Yeah.
Because they make the 7-inch ones, and then they make
I got
small
the
ones.
Yeah.
You got the Batman one?
Yeah. Check it out. So it came with this and this. So, but that's the page puncher little figurine. That's the little figurine. The big ones come with the comic and the 7-inch joint. You see,
that's the one I want. I want the big ones like these shown right here. Now those are the ones I want. I want to get that comic tag and slab. Right, that's the one I want. I want to get that comic tag and slab.
Yeah, and you can see this really cool art style that it's like a really dark, really interesting. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of the Batman Damned comic, and the figure's phenomenal. I mean, doesn't really show you. This is one of my favorite Batmans now because he's just like it's closer to. It almost looks like the DC zombie Batman. I mean, he's just brutal. He's just looking real brutal, real mean, and just thugged out. So I
Yes, he
definitely like
does.
that one. But yeah, that's the Black Adam joint of the Page Puncher. Where's that? Okay, so let's see. So here's the comic. Yeah, so you get there it is. You get the comic and the little tiny figurine. These are the little ones. The big ones, though, I don't know. The one you sent me, that Green Lantern you sent me was the little one.
Right. No, that was a
Yeah.
little one.
Yeah.
And I sent you these too because I saw these as well. Because I've seen I think it was the Batman one. No, Superman. I didn't see the Batman one because I probably would have bought that. I should have got the Superman and in the store, but of course you have better luck at Walmart than I do. Because when I was in my Walmart, they had a whole display. Like they had a whole display in the middle of the floor with these page punches. But I don't know, man. It seemed like they didn't get anything, or somebody came through and picked over them. And
There he is.
Yeah, that's John Stewart. And that's the smaller one, right?
Yeah.
Or was that the bigger
This
one?
isn't. Oh, my bad. That's not even a Page Puncher. That's a
Oh no, that's his
Superpower.
superpowers. Yeah.
Yeah. So they reissued
Now
the
that's actually
Superpowers, which is cool.
powers, right? And
Yeah,
that's a new
which is cool.
figure because we didn't have that when we were kids. We didn't have John Stewart. Right?
Yeah, and that's so the Batman superpowers is a much darker gray and darker blue than the toy that I had in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So they remade these figures and obviously here they put John Stewart in, which he was never a superpower. So that's cool. They're doing new characters, new figures, and that's dope. I still wanted to see like the classic superpowers figures. I was kind of bummed.
Right.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed that the Batman was all, colored wrong. Like he should have been more brightly colored. They tried to make him more dark. So I wish they had just, reissued the damn things the way they were, but
Right, that's what I was saying because they don't look like they did when we were kids.
no. McFarlane, he's got his ideas about things. Like that's what he does. Let's see. DC Multiverse, DC Retro, Superpowers. See, there's the Batman. And see, it's a darker gray and blue.
Yeah, it is.
Superman looks almost the same as I remember him, really. But yeah, they got a dark side. He's pretty dope.
Yeah, dark side looks the same. The Supermobile looks the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now the Batwing I never saw. I never saw the Batwing when I was a kid.
I had the Batwing as a kid. It had a little claw in the front. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You could pick up. Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it did. Yeah. You're right about that. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, you could catch because they had the commercial where he would catch the Joker and fly off with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. There's old Dark Seed.
I wonder if they're gonna bring out the like Flash. I remember you had Flash.
There's a bunch.
They had a Hawkman. They had
Yep. Of course, they had the Joker, the Penguin, Riddler,
Penguin,
all the
Riddler, Catwoman. I think there was a Catwoman, but I'm not sure.
I think there was a Catwoman. I'm not sure though.
Not me either. I do know they did have a whole Justice League
or a Hal Jordan. They had a Hal Jordan, and they had an Aquaman.
Yeah, they definitely had a Hal Jordan and an Aquaman. Aquaman was the first figure I bought. It was the very first one I bought. I remember.
Yeah.
And I think they had. No, they didn't have them. I know they had. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Lex Luthor. They had a Lex Luthor.
Slade, what up?
Yeah, Lex Luthor.
They did. Yeah, Lex Luthor.
What up, Slade? Yeah, they had Lex Luthor. I remember it because he was in his power suit. He was in his Lex Luthor in a power suit.
Right.
And I'm trying.
Yeah, he had the green power suit. Oh, they did. They reissued him in the green power suit. Yeah, so he's coming out. Or I don't know. He's probably already out. But yeah, the Lex Luthor super. He's got the green power suit. I remember that shit, man. Those were dope.
Yeah. See, and they had a Robin. It was a Robin too. It was a Batman. Robin. Joker. Penguin. Lex Luthor. Brainiac. I think there was a Brainiac too.
Was there? Yeah, probably.
But I'm not sure because I can't. It's a long time ago, man.
Long time ago. Well,
But I'm
I
glad
know it
Todd
is.
McFarlane's doing that.
Yes, yes, and again, I know this is
I'm,
DC. Are they gonna bring out Robin? I don't know. They should. I think they will. They'll probably remake all the. But when they do bring out Robin, he might look different. You know, he might be one of the newer versions of Robin or something like that. That's the way they seem to be doing this. But again, I know it's DC, but I'm too excited, man. These Marvel, these new Marvel figures they got the classic
I
joints
just
coming out,
saw
bro.
those. I just saw one of those the other
Uh
day. But is that what they look like when we were kids?
no, these are new.
Or are those
These
new?
are
Are
new.
those newer?
Boom.
Yeah, I just saw one of those the other day.
Boom.
I was looking for Apocalypse. And that's the one I wanted.
Bro, this is the one I want right here. Yeah. And they got
I was
the
looking
black
for.
King in Black coming
Oh,
out
word, that's
with
dope.
word, and he come with a 2-pack. You come with him and this Venom. So you get the Venom with the
Okay.
wings. Word, and you got the look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. I mean, got to have these. They got the
Oh,
Rhino,
you
the
got
classic one.
Rhino.
Got to have it.
Right. And
Word.
these are new part of Legends.
These
I
are
mean, not
Marvel
Legends.
Legends.
Yeah, Legends. These aren't Marvel Legends. This is a new line from Marvel.
These
Am I
are
correct?
they're Marvel. Yeah, well, there's this Spider-Man line that's just Spider-Man, but these are Marvel Legends. That's Marvel Legends. That's Marvel Legends. But the Spider-Man ones
Oh,
like
that's the
this,
Spider-Man. Okay, I got it. Got it.
but it's like it's like this line. It got the card back and it says Spider-Man. But they're the same size, shape, everything as Marvel Legends. Like I have some of them and they line right up with the Marvel Legends, same size and everything.
Okay.
They got the
Which
Ghost
ones do you
Rider,
have?
which look,
Man, Ghost Rider. No,
bro,
stop.
look how,
Bro.
bro,
Got
like
Ghost
dog,
Rider.
look at that shit. You got
That's
the
tough, bro.
flaming
That's
whip.
tough.
And
Yeah,
you
the
got the
flame.
Johnny
Yeah, the
Blaze
chain.
head.
Oh,
And
that's
then you get
tough,
the
bro. That's
you know what I
tough.
mean? Yeah,
That's
bro.
tough, bro. Yeah.
Got to. Then they got
So is that all
Beast.
right? So that's part of. Okay, so I guess they doing X-Men and Spider-Man,
Right.
or
X-Men has one, Spider-Man has one, and then the Legends, Legends are in these square boxes like this. But this is the Amazing Fantasy. First ever appearance of Spider-Man when his suit was actually black and red. He was not it was actually supposed to be black and red, but the way it
not
came
blue and
out,
red? Yeah.
to put in highlights in black, you had to use blue. And so it was so blue, but this is how he really looked. And he's got this thick eye. But
Yep.
yeah, this is the Amazing Fantasy. I love it. Then you got the X-Men. The Beast is phenomenal. Got some dope heads you could switch on, little accessories and shit. Check that shit out. I love it. Fucking Toad. They're putting out a Toad.
Yo,
Oh,
look at dude.
remember, you know what I mean? Then you got the black suit Spidey, and you got the that guy, that suit, Iron Spider, and who else? Yeah, we saw them. We saw that. Yeah, so I mean, it's a
Now,
dope collection.
where they are those like are they gonna do like a run of X-Men? Like are we gonna get like the original?
Yeah, well, they've done these. I mean, there's a lot of these coming out. There's a lot of these new X-Men joints. Beast has been out for a while. Um I haven't found one in the store yet, but yeah,
I've
a
never
lot of
seen
these
one in the store.
nah, nah. But a lot of these are out right now. Some of them you got to pre-order. I think like the Ghost Rider, I think the Rhino, Apocalypse, the Scorpion, and the King in Black and Venom. I think all of those are still pre-order right now. I think the Toad's pre-order. This one I've seen in the store, but no, I did not see this in the store, but I seen where the rack where it was at, but they were all gone. So I know that's in the
Oh,
store
okay.
if you can find one. But yeah. Um Robin is your favorite. Beast looks dope. Guys, where can I get those joints? Well, honestly, there's two main sources: the Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. That's where I get, you know, any figures that I don't find in the wild, like at Walmart or GameStop. I get them from Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth.
Yeah.
You can now if you want to figure that the stores don't sell anymore, that's you just go on eBay, but you're gonna pay 2, 3 times. Do you have any
Yeah.
of them? And if so, can you please show your gems? I mean, yeah, I mean, I got a ton of them. I mean, you already know I got a gang of these shits, but this so like here's an example of one of the this one came in the Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man, packs. So like this is the Green Goblin and it came in a box like this. Or the Hobgoblin.
Yeah,
The
they
Hobgoblin.
package it, Slade. They package it the way we used to get it when we were kids,
Right.
with the
Right.
with the
Flat
flat back
back.
and the card. Because a lot of people like that card, and then on the back there was always like a bio or something like that that you could use to. A lot of
Yep.
people like that. Some people set up their figures
I always like
with
to
those
look
in the
on the back
background.
and see the other figures
The
that
other
are available,
figures,
like the other
yeah, me
characters. That
too.
was my remember G.I. Joe
Yeah,
would
me
have
too.
like
Oh
30
yeah,
soldiers on the back.
yep.
That was my
They had numbers on them and stuff. Yeah, always thought that was dope.
and so the G.I. Joe ones that we used to get were the 375s, were the small pack like this, the small G.I. Joes. And that's how we used to get G.I. Joes. And then they came out with the 7-inch line now, the classified. So they made a big 7-inch version of the old packaging.
I think
Which is
that's how I think they should always
really
sell the
cool.
classifieds. They should always
Yes.
sell the classifieds like that. Because you have some people, Slade, everybody in the chat. I've seen people on YouTube. I even got a couple partners went to their house. They collect them, and they don't take them out of the pack.
Right.
They'll make like a collage on their wall full of
Now,
the
if they all came
characters.
in these, I would have been hard pressed to take him out of the packs because these packs are so fucking cool. I almost didn't take him out. It's just he would have been the only one that I didn't, and I just wanted to take him out. I'm just, I'm a little kid like that. I got to take him out. But
You might have to get two. You might have to get
I
two,
would
Reno.
get two of the yes. If this wasn't the last one available, I would have got two. So yeah, I would these kind, if they packaged them like this, I'd be buying two of every figure because I would definitely want to keep these in the pack and hang them on the wall. Because like I said, that's just a throwback, man, to the old school. That's what. And another thing that I stopped, like my classified collection. From now on, I'm only buying the figures that look like the '80s toy. Like they've made like there's the roadblock with the beard. There's these Scarlet with different and Gung Ho with the different clothes. Like if they're dressed futuristic, if they don't look like the '80s version, then I'm not collecting them. So I'm only collecting the ones that look like the '80s toys because that's what I really want. And I got the Gung Ho, the first Gung Ho they put out with like the regular green camo because we all know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why it didn't make sense. But Gung Ho wore turquoise. He had a turquoise suit. You know what I mean? He had turquoise
Yes,
camouflage. I don't know what the science behind that was. I guess he was supposed to be a Marine, and I don't know. They were trying to maybe it was a water thing. I don't know. But anyway,
maybe it was just aqua
how he looked.
turquoise. What was the '80s? And turquoise was in back then.
Turquoise was hot. Turquoise was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows? But yeah, man, you got to get two. You got to get two. Got to get two. Got to get one to put on the wall and leave it in the package, and one to put on the shelf with the other figures. Like I like to set mines up, like have them, set up. But on to some DC Power news. Straight up, Ezra Miller is out after the Flash. Barside Buzz. So Ezra Miller is out after the Flash. That's the rumor that's floating around, and it comes from a leaker who does one of the best hit rates for scoops. Has one of the best hit rates for scoops and leaks around right now. So now, of course, the reason for all this is very well publicized. Ezra Miller's recently been involved in a few incidents. Which would bring into question his suitability to play the role of Barry Allen in the DCEU and represent DC Comics. Sadly, this all happened after the shooting of The Flash was in the can. In the can means, it's already been filmed. It's been shot. There's nothing to do now but editing and post. So it was done. And then The Flash was due for release. I mean, I think the Flash would have come out by now. It could have come out, but they're looking at next year, sometime. But Warner Brothers, DC, have had some time to think about the situation and what they're going to do with it. And the rumor mill so far seems that the Flash will release as planned. However, Miller's future has been a very different story. The leaker's tweet says, not sure if good news or bad news. That's up to you. But I hear Ezra Miller is done as the Flash. No matter what happens, not coming back. So basically, the movie could be the best selling movie of all time. He's still not, he's still out. So, now as much of good hit rate, that this leaker has, it's not quite, that of Deadline. It's not written in stone, but we already covered a report from the trade that said that their sources also indicated Miller was done after the release of The Flash. So it's not just one source, but with the Cavill is playing Doom bullshit hoax that we just, put our whatever behind. So I'm not going to say that this is a fact or that this is official, but this is just the report as leaked as right now. But there are some who claim that, to have sources already listing actors who are wanted for, to recast the role of Barry Allen in the future for the DCEU. However, I personally think that most of those are just picking some fan cast choices based on this rumor. In other words, I don't buy anything I've heard from anybody anymore, but who am I to say? But speaking of, so there's that. Now I do want to definitely talk about what we had, about what we said about Ezra, about Jesus Christ, Henry Cavill playing Dr. Doom. We did a show about it, put a thing. If you go back and look at that video now, I've since fixed the thumbnail and put some revisions in the description, because turns out that was a hoax. Turns out that this is a photograph. Someone took a photograph from the audience of the screen at D23. And so this photograph is why everyone thought that it was 100% official, because this was taken from the audience of a movie screen that was up on the screen. They took the picture. So how they edited this, how they made this look so real, that I don't know. Why they would do something like this, I have no fucking clue. You're not getting paid. You're not getting any recognition except for that of a liar. I don't really understand the point of why people do this shit. But anyway, so we apologize that we gave you that information, because
They do it. They do it, Reno, they do it for hits.
Yeah.
The unique thing about our channel is we do this for you guys in the chat. We do this because it's something we love. We do this because we love comics. We love hip hop. We love collectibles. We don't do it for hits. We get the hits. That's good. That's fine. We'll take it. But we're not hard up for it, like a lot of channels are, and a lot of people, a lot of people want to post it on their page, and it'll go viral. And we're creatures of habit. So a lot of times when you click on a channel, you automatically hit subscribe. Or if you click on somebody's profile on Twitter or whatever, you'll hit follow. Now this person has what? If it gets a million hits, they might have 500,000 followers, 750,000 followers. And that's what they do it for. And it's sad, that they do that. Just like screen culture. Remember we were watching, you were hype about the Black Panther video, and I was like, I don't know, man. And when I looked, I saw screen culture in the corner. I was like, nah, Reno is fake. He was like, you sure? Yeah, I was like, nah, that's all they do is make fan made videos. Right. Yep. And then they try to shop it like it's the real thing. If it's fan made, just put fan made. We cool with that.
That's my thing. It's like, if you're gonna make up some shit, that's cool. Like, be creative and say that this is a fan made thing or whatever. Don't have me guessing. I gotta look through the comments and see if it's real. It's just like, that doesn't give you respect. You know what I'm saying? In my eyes, it doesn't. I don't see you as an artist. I don't see you as a creator or any of that. I just see you as an opportunist who's trying to fool people. You're a liar. So if you want the credit of making these dope fan videos, fan edits, fan trailers, tell me that's what it is. And I know a lot of people feel this way. I've seen a lot of people say this. If you tell me that's what it is, then I'll give you props. I'll be all, hey, this is dope. But if I got to guess or if I'm being fooled and I feel like I've been tricked, I'm not going to give you props for that. That's just human nature. But,
Right.
But speaking of,
but it's clickbait.
Yeah.
No matter how you look at it, it's just clickbait.
Well,
do we have a trailer? Is the question. Do we have a trailer?
We have it. We have it.
We
have it.
Really?
I hate it. I do. But yeah, we have the Leak Ed Batgirl trailer. At least that's what it's supposed to be. So, but no, I don't know if I think what they did with this trailer is I think it's scenes from Batgirl, and then I think they spliced it with scenes from like the 89 Batman movie and stuff like that because they were trying to add Keaton in and stuff. So I don't think this is legitimately the trailer. I think it's fan made, but I think it is using scenes from Batgirl. I think that's what this is. So again, I'm not gonna just say that this is the real trailer leaked, but that's what it's being told as. So
does it have? Do you think it? The person that made it. My question is, is it scenes from the actual movie? Like I'm cool with it if it's a fan made joint. If it's stuff from the actual, then we can actually get to see.
Yeah, I think it's fan made, but I think there's real stuff from the real movie in here. So let's run it. Let's take be the judge. Yeah, be the judge. Here we go.
Yeah, roll that joint. Roll that.
This isn't just some random murder. It's an extermination.
Dozens of witnesses all over Gotham. No discernible pattern I can see.
When the streets burn with the corpses of our favorite heroes, who can save us?
Hello, Gotham! Batgirl here. Firefly must be stopped, but I can't do it alone.
I don't exist.
I'm not even here.
Get it together, man. We're all that's left. And right here, right now, the universe needs you.
Everybody's got a mask on. I got one, you got one. Every now and then, it slips a little bit.
There's good and there's evil. And evil must be punished.
$90 million up in flames!
The police have got it wrong.
Firefly was just a decoy. But if not him, then who?
We're the Warner Brothers. And you're a write-off!
Okay, so that was funny at the end. He was like, "We're the Warner Brothers, and you're a write-off." So, and there was definitely some scenes I think I saw from was that Suicide Squad?
Yep.
The one guy who was all
Suicide
crazy.
Squad, Batman 89.
Batman 89.
One of them was from a TV show. The guy with the flames going on. I forget what that's from. I've seen that before.
That wasn't real. That wasn't really him. That's not from Batgirl.
I don't think so. I think I've seen that before, man.
Well, the guy that's playing him is your boy from Encino Man. What's his name? Well, you know what I'm talking about. So he's playing the fire guy, and then they had in the trailer they had half his face like kind of burned, which I think someone added on, and I think they took that clip from like something else he was doing, and so it's very creative. I mean, they hooked it up, but the only thing I think from Batgirl is the actual scenes with Batgirl. I think the rest of it's made up shit. Corey was good.
Yeah, they my thing, you know what? Listen, I don't care how made up it is, as long as it got real footage from the movie, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. So we saw now, out of what you saw of Batgirl just now, I think that kind of tells us what kind of movie it was gonna be. Personally, I don't feel like we missed much. Like it's not like it's not a movie I would have been down with.
We'll break it down. You know, what should I mean?
Well, okay, so to me, it was like on the tip of like, well, two things. It was definitely like a chick flick, you know, young girl kind of thing. I looked like I saw some emojis and shit on the screen. So it's very like, I don't know, Gen Z, millennial kind of stuff. And it's like, I don't want to say CW, but CW, like that's kind of the vibe, the quality wise, the acting, just the kind of thing of it. I don't know. It just didn't seem like, I mean, I don't know. I think it's not like I wouldn't have watched it, but I think I see why whoever was in charge chose to scrap
Not to
that
do it.
one over
Not
the
to,
over
not to do
Flash.
the
Like I think
movie.
it was like, which one are we gonna scrap? And I think that's the reason they scrapped that one, because they just
You know
figured
what,
it would.
man? If it was me, Reno, I would have put it out. I would have
It
just put
wasn't
it
gonna
out.
be a big. It wasn't gonna be a blockbuster. That's what I mean. It was
No.
not gonna be a
So I would
blockbuster.
have put it out like that. I would have put it out.
I would have put
Like
it
if
out
you would
straight
have
to
had
streaming.
straight to streaming or straight to video, skip it. We keep it
Yeah,
moving.
could have done
See if
that.
we can make all. See if we can make all. And if it got a big enough hit, like perfect example, Highlander. Well, Highlander came out. It was a one and done movie, and they really didn't think it was going to do that well. But it spawned like what 4 sequels that had
Yeah,
nothing to do
TV
with the
show.
original. Yeah, TV show, all kind of trash. It was literally not supposed to have a sequel. And like I said, they did not think it was going to do very well, and it did way better than they expected.
It was always funny to me how the Spaniard has this Scottish accent.
Yes, he does.
I never could figure out what they were trying to say there. I was like, was he a Scot that is from that lived in Spain for a little while? Like, why are they calling him the Spaniard? Clearly he's Scottish. Vigilante Williamson in the building. What's good? Yeah, I agree. Vigilante.
They could. We agree with that. Yeah, they could have done it straight to streaming. That's what we were saying. Yeah. Yeah. Because a lot. Because there's a lot of people. Yeah, there's a lot of people that say that this movie was good, and there's some people that say, "Oh, it wasn't that great." But when you get a movie with mixed reviews, mostly the fans love it, and the critics are the ones that talk about it kind of bad and say, "Oh, we didn't think," because they have a perception of Hollywood and what Hollywood expects. Just want a good movie. We don't give a damn.
It's like Dex. It's like Dex talking about MC versus a fan talking about their favorite MC. It's just coming from a different perspective, from the perspective of the critic.
We want to be entertained as fans.
The lighting and but the critic's looking at like all these.
He's looking at all the direction,
shit.
Yeah, the
like,
pace of the movie.
It was entertaining.
We don't give a damn. Like when they did
They don't know what they're talking about.
When they did Man of Steel, right? When they did Man of Steel, the critics were kind of on the fence about it. Oh, it was all right. But the fans loved it. Everybody we've ever talked to on this show, everybody in the chat, they love it. And I think, when you get, back in the 80s and the 90s, if the people loved it, you got a sequel. They didn't give a damn what the critics thought. And now they care more about the critics, what the critics say, than the fans.
Yeah, and back then, like there was only so many critics, and they wrote articles, and it was. But now there's 1,000 critics. Everybody's a critic, and everybody's online blogging and talking about their opinions. And
this is true.
You're a critic. Why? Because you talk about movies a lot. Like what criteria? What credentials do you have? What makes you a critic? What do you know about filmmaking? What do you know about cinema? What do you know about anything? Are you just someone who's basically a fan giving your opinion and calling yourself a critic? And that's what's happening, is there's so many of those out there that they're not actual critics. A real critic is a real profession. That's someone who's literally studied film production, all of this, like Siskel and Ebert. Those guys knew what the fuck they were talking about.
Right.
They might have
been
wrong.
And even Siskel, right. I was getting ready to say that. Thank you. Even Siskel and Ebert's gotten it wrong from time to time. Just because there was a movie, I think it was an Eddie Murphy movie.
They know their science. Like they know there
was an Eddie Murphy movie that they watched and they said they didn't like it. Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh
They talked
yeah,
about they didn't like Beverly Hills Cop.
right.
I think it was Ebert was like, it's not that great. I won't
Yeah,
waste my time. Like he didn't really get a movie good reviews,
uh,
but it was
yeah,
a blockbuster. It was a hit.
huge.
And
Yeah,
everybody, right, a huge hit, and it spawned 2 sequels. So
or
they don't always get it right.
I know I was
You
I
can
was 8 or
res-
9 years old pretending I was Axel Foley, walking
exactly.
around the
Me
edge of the
too.
building. Hell yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. You got to, man.
Axel
But
Foley was huge,
it's just, was he ever? Huge ain't the word. Axel Foley
huge.
was, man.
Yeah,
I was a big Axel Foley fan, and I still like
damn
Beverly
right.
Hills Cop, man. I can still watch that today, and it's
Yeah,
just
they're
as good
great.
to me right now as it
They're
was.
actually good. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, man. I mean, me and my son was talking about like comedies and shit lately. He's like, "What's going on? Do they not make comedies anymore?" I'm like, "Nah, they just not funny anymore. They just
Right.
it's not quality." Um, but
No, they're not quality at all. You're right.
speaking of comedies, I guess Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn comeback just got confirmed, which is dope. Like there's plenty of question marks on when it comes to the future of the DCEU. Like we've said many times, it's a mess. You know what I'm saying? They're here, they're there, they don't know what's going on. And as the studio retools and reworks its super powered efforts, they also continue to release new entries in the oft maligned franchise. But one name that has found a decent amount of success in the DCEU is Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. Like, you think about all the characters that they've put out and stuff, that's like probably the most successful one. And the her Harley Quinn has become a fan favorite. It's like a lot of people think of Harley Quinn, they think of Margot Robbie. She's really made
They
it.
do.
She's done like what Jackman did with Wolverine. Like, that's Jackman, that's Wolverine, that's Margot Robbie, that's Harley Quinn. And whether it's been like in critical flops like Suicide Squad or more beloved fare like Birds of Prey, her characters won over audiences steadily. And but it is one whose future with the franchise remained in doubt. And Quinn has been confirmed to appear in the upcoming Joker sequel, but it's not going to be Margot Robbie. It's going to be, what's her name? Lady Gaga. So will fans ever see the Wolf of Wall Street actress don the pigtails again? Has been the question. But I think the Suicide Squad director James Gunn said that he loves working with her and has remained one of her biggest fans. So if Harley Quinn were to make a return to the big screen anytime soon, James Gunn is seemingly going to be the one to make it happen. And if a new tweet of his is to be believed, he could know a whole lot more than he's leading on. He said, "I did Birds of Prey and the Suicide Squad back to back, so that was a lot of Harley all in 1 year period. But that was a while ago now. I'm always ready for more Harley." So good,
No, that's good. No, Reno, that's good because remember when I don't know if you remember when she first got the role, people were like, "Oh, Margot Robbie." Like
mhm,
people were on the fence about that. Like they're
mhm,
like, "Oh, can she play Harley Quinn? How good
right,
will it be?" She knocked it out
right.
the box.
Yeah.
She literally,
Me too.
she literally knocked it out the box.
Yeah, she's it's a lot more to her than the ditzy blonde that she acts like sometimes.
Right.
She's not. She's brilliant. But after being prodded on Twitter, about a future for Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn in the DCEU, James Gunn said, that he's definitely down. He's definitely plans on doing something with her in the future. Where is right now unknown exactly, where she'll show up in the DCEU next, but it's just been confirmed that she will be back. But one place that would make a lot of sense would be a potential Suicide Squad 3 or a Harley centric Suicide Squad spinoff, kind of like Birds of Prey. And James Gunn, has expressed doing more at DC in the future. And if, he were to come back for a feature length film, I would say, you can bet that Harley Quinn would be part of it. And it should be, relieving to know that James Gunn isn't the only one that's ready for more from the character, because Margot Robbie's just as enthusiastic. Of course, she loves the character. She wants to play her, forever. So, but right now, Lady Gaga is set to play the character in the next in the Joker fully ado. But I don't really, that Joker stuff isn't really DCEU. I don't consider it.
No,
It's its
no,
own
it's not.
thing.
It's not.
So
It's more. Yeah, it's more of his own thing. It's more like a little spinoff.
yeah,
You know what I mean,
yeah,
nothing. Yeah, nothing to be taken serious. Just them looking at Joker and those characters from a whole different angle, different
mhm,
perspective, based more on
right,
reality, less comic book lore, more into reality, more more grittiness, more grime,
mhm, mhm,
more adult orientated. Uh, not that they
yeah,
can't do that with the regular characters that we already had, but we
right,
won't go there because they want to sell toys. So we can't go there.
right, right. Well, speaking of selling toys, Blue Beetle, which I'm sure is gonna have an incredible toy line, is in Spanish mostly, apparently, according to Susan Sarandon, who's in the
See?
movie. I think it's just like, where did she come from? Where how is Susan Sarandon all of a sudden in these but I'm down. I mean, I always thought she was cool. I don't have no problem with Susan Sarandon. She's a decent actress. She,
Right.
you know. But so what I'm saying, so she stars as the main villain in the upcoming Blue Beetle DCEU movie, and basically she's saying that a lot of scenes are in Spanish. It's almost been 10 years since the DCEU I think came to life, starting with Man of Steel. While the franchise has changed significantly over the years, the DCU is still going forward as Warner Brothers Discovery continues to bring more heroes into the live action fold. And while the studio's release plans for their DC movies changed drastically for 2023 has 4 projects slated, assuming nothing else gets altered in the release schedule. One of the highly anticipated DCU movies is definitely Blue Beetle, starring Cobra Kai star Colo Marduena. I'm sorry, I don't know. Marid. Yeah, but initially the film was going to be an HBO Max original. It was going to go straight to streaming, but prior to principal photography kicking off, the studio decided to make it a theatrical release, which will come out after Ezra Miller's The Flash next summer. The Blue Beetle follows Jamie Reyes, who his life has changed when he discovers a mysterious alien scarab that gives him powers, turns him into the Blue Beetle. But so Susan Sarandon said basically she came on the Tonight Show and on Jimmy Fallon, and she was asked about the Blue Beetle involvement, and as she said, to play the villainous Victoria Cord, but without revealing any spoilers. She says that since the majority of the Blue Beetle cast consists of Latinx characters and actors, the film will be in Spanish with English subtitles. Though it's unclear from her comments how much of the runtime that will be. But verbatim, what she said was, "What's fabulous about it, it's the first Latinx hero that has his own movie. Even better, all of the Mexican, because his family is Mexican and all of the actors were Mexican or Mexican American, and it is in Spanish, so it's subtitled. I'm, of course, the bad guy. I'm the white military industrial complex character, so I had a fabulous time because there's nothing better than being bad." So yeah, I mean, what do y'all think? What do you think? Like, do you think that would hurt the movie to be in Spanish with subtitles? Do you think that's cool?
No. No. What was the movie they put out? Girl Montero. God, what do you say his name? Guerrero Montero. I don't know how to say it. I'm tongue tied right now.
What?
The movie Pan's Labyrinth.
Guillermo del Toro?
Yeah. Thank you.
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, Guerrero Motoro. When he did Pan's Labyrinth was in Spanish. The whole thing was in Spanish.
Was it? Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Apocalypto. Mel Gibson directed the movie, but they were speaking a form of Mayan throughout the whole movie. There was no English. It was all subtitled. There was no English. So there have been some movies and those are blockbuster movies. Like those movies are really good.
Right.
So yeah, we can get it done as long as it's good and they present it well. I'll take it. We can watch it. We can watch it in Spanish.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to make a lot of non-Spanish speakers feel alienated. Maybe not original origin.
In today's society, original origin, yeah.
And so what? And so what? If
20 years ago, 20 years ago, no. 10 years ago, no. Now, yeah, but at the same time, I mean, Reno's got a point. You both got a point, but you got to think about today. Reno's got a point because some people are not going to, the fans are not going to care.
Well, my point is not that they're not going to care. I think some people are going to hate it. I think the same people that hate the fact that black and brown actors are playing elves and hobbits are going to hate that this movie's in Spanish, and we know who they are, and we know what their problem is, and we don't give a fuck.
We don't care, right? And we've had movies that have been all in Spanish or all in English, but they were presented that way, and we liked them, and they were good. Like I said, as long as it's done well, we don't care.
Yeah, if it's good, I mean, and people do read a lot of anime. I think anime now is a big factor in people, being more accustomed to subtitles. And that's just really an American thing. Everyone else in the world watches subtitles all the time because obviously most movies are in English, but one way or the other, I'm more worried about it being poorly made. Vigilante Williamson. That's the thing.
That's true. Vigilante, I'm with that as well. Yeah.
And Origin, I know you don't think that. I know you're talking about other people, and you're right. There will be a lot of people that are feeling salty about it, but
plus you got to realize too, realistically, and I I hate having to go there. If they're doing Blue Beetle, he doesn't live in Robbie. He doesn't live in Mexico. Jaime doesn't live nowhere in a Spanish speaking. He lives in America. So it would
does he live in a Spanish speaking place in America? Because like Southern California is more Spanish than English.
Oh, according to what I know, most of the people he knows speak English, and he speaks English back. He might say some things in Spanish, or he might, he'll say something in his family Spanish. They should run it. It should be ran more like I don't know, like Kamala Khan, like they, you embrace the Spanish heritage,
right?
But for the most part, they're speaking English.
Yeah, I think that if it was a Batman movie in all Spanish, that would probably not go over well. But it's a Spanish character, and it's not even like, I mean, and I hate to say this too, but it's not like Blue Beetle's a big name character, so it kind of is like, okay, let them do that. Like, let them have a Spanish character, Spanish movie, Spanish speaking. It's not like it's Superman. It's Blue Beetle. Do you even know anything about the Blue Beetle? Did you know about Blue Beetle before this movie came out? Probably not. So in that sense, like I said, I hate to say that, but if they were gonna do that, this is the movie to do it with.
If it was me, Reno, I would give them, and this is just me, I would do.
You breaking up?
And at the end,
you broke up. What did you say?
I said at the end, I said I would do Ted Cord, and at the end, I would have Ted Cord, meet his demise like he did or whatever, and have him pass it down to Jaime, or have Jaime I would just follow the comic on that, and then that way I can get 2 movies out of it. And if people like the Jaime, then I would do a 3rd with Jaime and keep it moving.
Right.
Vigilante.
No, and Vigilante, and again, I'm not talking about comic fans. I'm talking about the casual American, the casual fan who doesn't know about comics. Fan, right? They don't know about Blue Beetle. It's just like they didn't know about Guardians of the Galaxy. They didn't know, they didn't know about that until, Suicide Squad. They didn't know about that. Black Adam, they probably didn't even know about that. That's some shit that, unless you were into comics, at least marginally, you don't know about it. But That's what a lot of these movies now, and I think a lot of the reason that most comic fans are kind of pissed about shit is because they're making most of these movies for the casual audience. They're not really worried about the comic heads because they figure that's a small population. They'd be wrong because the comic population has exploded since the quarantine, really. It's gone nuts. That
It
trailer
has.
ain't real. It would have been taken down already. No, it's not real. It's not
Yeah, we
real.
know it's not real. Right.
No,
Yeah,
no, no, no. It's
therapy. Yeah,
not
we
real.
know it's not real. Yeah.
It's a compilation of scenes from Batgirl scenes and then scenes from other movies, and they put it together to make it look like the Batgirl trailer. But it's not taken down because it's just a fan-made trailer. It's not like I don't think they're claiming that it's real. At least I didn't. The impression I got was that it was like tongue in cheek, like the trailer was leaked, you know.
But it's just that they released it because we've heard so much about this movie. We heard it was canceled. We heard they made it, shot it, filmed it, finished production, everything, and then we get crickets. So a lot of people were
Mhm.
curious, and then the reviews on it were mixed. So now a lot of people are curious. Was like, was this really a good movie, or was this movie just a victim of circumstance?
Yeah.
Because Warner Brothers tight-lipped about it. They're not saying anything. They're not saying whether it is good or
Well, they
bad.
said that they said test audience did not like Batgirl.
Yeah,
They
right.
said
They're
they
saying right.
showed
They're
it to test
saying
audience and
right.
nobody
Right.
liked
No, you're right. They're saying test. But if you ask Warner, if I was to interview Warner Brothers on this show right now and ask them, they're not saying anything. They're going
it.
by what other people are saying. They're going by the critics, the
Oh, yeah,
audience, everybody. Yeah, they're not. Warner
yeah.
Brothers themselves have not said whether the movie, because obviously, if they let it go all the way to being fully made in the whole 9 yards, I mean, obviously, somebody upstairs liked it and liked what they saw.
Well,
That the acquisition was part of
it
the
wasn't only that they didn't like the movie. It was that they felt that they could get this big tax break apparently by
right. That's what
canceling
I was
it
going to say.
somehow.
Yeah,
And
right,
so yeah,
right.
so they did it for other reasons, but I think they had a choice, like what movie to cancel for this tax break. And since test audiences apparently love The Flash and apparently didn't like Batgirl, that's the one they chose to use.
Well, I think Reno also too is they tested all the movies that they had made, and the ones that they got the most positive reviews from Hollywood is the one
Yeah,
they said, "Oh, this will make the cut because we can make some money back on this." You know what I mean? And
yeah.
like I said, Hollywood's not that smart because you know what I think is going to happen, and I hate to say it, but that Batgirl movie is going to come out, and I think that after we see this Flash movie and that Batman and that Batgirl movie comes out, people are going to be like, "You should have just gave us Batgirl instead of the Flash." And that's
I don't
just
think it's
like I
gonna be
always
as
say.
good. I don't think Batgirl's gonna be as good as The Flash. Not even.
It's gonna drop eventually, Vigilante. I think
But it could.
eventually
It could come out.
we're gonna see a leaked version of that movie. We're gonna see something like
Come out.
Fantastic Four. Remember the Fantastic Four they made years ago? We never saw it, never saw the light of day, but they leaked
Mhm.
it, and you can find leaked versions of it on the internet. I think you can even buy it on disc,
Mm.
but we'll get it sooner or later.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. The test audience thing, I take that shit with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
The
me
test
too,
audience thing.
Vigilante. Oh,
'Cause
yeah, you have
either
to.
A, it could be bullshit, or B, what they had 10 people watch it. Like, I don't know who watched it. So again, the test audience things is very like I said, I take that with a grain of salt.
I do too.
And yeah, and I think you're right too, Vigilante, that they are doing what they think the casual audience wants, but then they're missing the mark and nobody's happy. And I always said this: the source material, the comics, the cartoons, whatever, is what made this franchise or this IP so popular and important enough for you to make a fucking film franchise about it. So maybe it has something there. Maybe there's a reason that got so. Maybe you should stick to that. Maybe you should go to that and see what is it that made this shit popular in the first place. the comics. So go back to that. There's a reason it was good. There's a reason people liked it, because it was done right. It was done well. Now you have a fucking recipe for success. All you got to do is go back and get what worked and do it again. But they want to take the credit for the new movie or the storyline or blah blah blah. So if they stick too close to the source material, then they can't say, look what I made. They got to say, look what such and such wrote that I adapted. And it doesn't give them as much, feed their ego as much, and they can't really put their name on it. It's like James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Or Zack Snyder's this or that, right? Instead of just going from the so he couldn't say Zack Snyder's Justice League if he went verbatim out of the comics, because then it would be, you know, Jack Kirby's Justice League or whoever. So that's the unfortunate truth, man, is that you're never gonna get the comic movie or show taking directly from the source material. It's never gonna be accurate because of that exact reason right there. They can't claim it's theirs if they use too much of the. So, and that's sad, but it is what it is. Now, before I get to that, so, but if you didn't care about that, and you could, you know, if we got someone who could put their fucking ego to the side, and there's just a true fan of the work, and then they make some movies, we could get something real. And we have. I mean, I know some movies have been good, and some Jesus Christ. Y'all got to see this. Never mind. He stopped. As soon as I put the camera on him, he stopped. He was hanging from the ceiling by his legs, swinging his arms around like a fool. But anyway, so yeah, if we get a filmmaker that is a real fan of the subject, it's like having people who are not fans of Star Wars write the Star Wars show to get a fresh take. It's a stupid way to do it. And
when a fresh take isn't what we need, we just need new stories.
Yeah,
all right, we know what happened. Right, we know what happened at the end.
You can give me a new story but you could still stick to the characters, you know, the shit about the character, you know, the way he looks, the way he dresses, the way he acts, the way he says.
Like if Kathleen Kennedy wanted to move away from all the original characters, she got the juice and the pull to find a show or make something up that pulls away from them so she can live her dream. But you got too many people that want to see the original characters, and as much of that original lore as they can get, versus just one person. Like, it's one person that decides the whole fate of Star Wars, when you got so many people who ask questions like, okay, what happened to Luke when he, you know, at the end of Return of the Jedi? What did he do? Where did he go? What happened? What happened to him between Mandalorian and Return of the Jedi? Dash Rendar. What happened to Dash Rendar? Darth Vader. You know, like, you can give us those movies.
Yeah.
Give them to us.
Give them to us. We need them. We want them. And yeah, C-3PO having the red arms, great example. Yeah.
Right.
Merch is a big deal. Like, yeah, and it's not just an ego thing. Obviously, it is a legal thing too. But like, say the comic book creator is dead and his family doesn't want you to, you know, fuck with his work. Now you can't use you go to the source material. So there's legal issues and shit, sure, but from a creative standpoint, a writer or creator or filmmaker is going to always put their own spin on it, you know, to make it theirs so that they can, you know, identify it and put their name on it. But if we can get a true fan of the work, like a true fan of the comics, to make a movie, I think the movies that have been successful, and not just successful, but loved by actual comic fans, have been made by actual comic fans.
That's true.
That's just it. You know, if you make these movies and it's a guy who, you know, he just, like, he's good at action movies and comedies, but he knows nothing about comics, you know, you're gonna get Love and Thunder and shit like that.
Yeah. I don't even want to go into Love and Thunder. It's DC Day. So let's just stay
Yeah.
on DC.
Yes.
Warner Brothers has just been dropping the ball for years. And it's just time for them to man up. And you're right, Slade. It is about toys, t-shirts,
Merch.
and merch. Right.
Merch.
It's time to let that go, make a good movie, sell a lot of tickets, and have people go to the theater and see it. Because, like, if you ask me, I'm going to say, look, this movie took forever to come out. I've lost interest. It's lost its steam. I had to deal with Ezra Miller and all his trash. Is it even going to be worth seeing after all this? Did he give his full effort? Did he give the same effort in the movie that he did on the streets? He just didn't give a damn. And like people are going to ask those questions. And Warner Brothers, they want to do a cinematic superhero universe.
Right.
And if they want to do one, they're going to have to start taking it seriously. They're going to have to leave the stupid Hollywood model alone, put people in charge, like you said, that are fans of the genre, that are fans of the comic books, and let them do their thing. Like, get out of their way and let them, because that's why Marvel's been so successful. They did that. They put people in charge and got out of their way. They put out dope movies until Thor: Love and Thunder. But we won't go there. Not today.
No. We want to stick on DC. So
we won't stick on. So Green Lantern.
I got you.
Because remember they had a Green Lantern series. Do you think we still
before we go to that, we got a Joker movie called The Joker. Wait, what is it called?
Joker,
the People,
the Harley Quinn.
That says Joker, the Harley Quinn. But we have this movie that is a gay movie, like a queer version or like a gay version of Batman. Let me get this thing out here. There we go. But yeah, like it's the director of The People's Joker, a queer coming of age story set in the Batman universe, has pulled the movie from the Toronto International Film Festival over alleged rights issues. But he told Variety magazine that the audiences will be able to see the film in due course. But yeah, we didn't even know about this. So, helmed by Los Angeles-based director Vera Drew, the mixed media movie follows an aspiring clown played by Vera Drew, grappling with her gender identity while dreaming of being cast in a TV sketch show among a cast of Jokers and Harley Quinns. The official synopsis reads, with comedy criminalized in Gotham City, the show is the only government-sanctioned space for funny people, but only those who will toe the party line. Disillusioned by a botched audition, Vera partners with a bird-like slacker to found their own alternative comedy troupe, attracting not only a rogues gallery of would-be comics, but also their ire of a fantastic caped crusader. Warner Brothers Discovery, which owns DC Comics and holds the rights to the Batman universe, has not yet commented on the film, though it appears that the studio may have issued a cease and desist to block the movie's 3 further screenings at the Toronto International Film Festival, which have now been canceled. So we couldn't get a statement from Warner Brothers Discovery, but in a statement shared with Variety, the director promised that everyone is going to get a chance to see the film. I don't respond well to bullying or pressure from faceless institutions, she said. It only emboldens me and what I was saying with this film. We're looking for buyers and distribution partners who will protect us and make a film accessible to trans people and their families everywhere. What are you saying with this film?
I'm just saying what they always say, man. Like, I really think, I don't know why, Reno, that the transgender community thinks that the world hates them so much, and
like
people
we care so bad.
Right, like nobody cares anymore. If you're gonna make a movie for gay, transgenders, and all that to watch, they're gonna come watch it. They're gonna come, like, make your money, keep it moving. It's aimed at a certain audience, so let it go. It's like black
Stop
cinema.
caring
It's
what
like
we
African.
do. Stop worrying about what the fan.
Say what you. It's aimed at a certain audience. It's like black cinema. It's aimed at a certain audience. Let that audience watch it and enjoy it and keep it moving. Why you got to put it out there like, like, oh, this is for them and
Like
they
Tyler
can do
Perry never
this.
cared that white people ain't gonna get this Madea shit.
Thank you.
He
Thank
don't
you.
care. He made his
Like,
movie for
right.
for him and whoever
For
likes
him
Madea.
and for who likes Madea, right? And when we started, doing all these movies with a lot of black actors as the lead, we did that for a reason because we wanted the African American audience to get what Hollywood wouldn't give them on a regular.
Right.
A lead black character that don't die in the first 5 minutes.
Right. That's actually the hero. Yeah.
Right. But did we walk around and say, oh, this is for all African Americans everywhere, and for them to have a place to go do it? No. Make the movie, see the movie, keep it going. Listen, the gay community is gonna buy it, they're gonna eat it up. Now I will say one thing, if it ain't a good movie, they're not gonna like it. So I don't give a damn what you wrap it around. If it ain't good, they're not gonna hook on it. But if it's good and it's done right and it's something they can get into, they'll watch it. But you gotta remember too, Reno, there are a lot of hardcore comic book fans that are gay.
Oh yeah.
Or transgender.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they so you present something like that.
Down with them. Like we down
right,
with them.
we down, right. They go right, they might be like
I got gay comic fans on my IG that we rock with and stuff.
So they might be like,
right.
Cool. They might watch it. They might watch it, Reno, and be like, why did we even need this? Like they might watch it and be like, why we even need if you're gonna give me something I can enjoy.
Right. Right.
Because look at it like this. DC's got a bunch of characters that are openly gay. They've always been openly gay. And you could have did something with that. Right.
But you could have did. I think people get rubbed the wrong way when you take a character that is traditionally straight and put them in a dress or whatever, make them trans or make them gay or whatever. That's where people kind of get rubbed the wrong way. But if it's a gay character and you're doing a movie about a gay, no one has a problem with that. No one. That's not a problem. So you cannot say that it's about being gay. That's the problem. The problem
and that's what they're saying.
Changing shit people are used to. It's the same thing.
Right. To exploit a group and what they like. And me right there, that's what I have. Right. I have a problem with them trying to exploit the LGBTQ community, saying, "Oh, well, this is for." They might not want to see that.
That's my like when I criticize these things. Just want to make this clear. I'm not criticizing the gay people in any way. What I'm doing is I'm criticizing those who would exploit the gay people for a buck.
Right.
You're exploiting. It's the same thing. Black exploitation.
Right. Those movies are horrible, and we knew it. Right. Those movies, but they were trying to make $1 off the fact that there were some after Superfly, Black Caesar 1 and 2, and a couple other Shaft and all of that came out. That's when Blaxploitation. They were like, whoa, they made these movies and they made this much money. Now Blaxploitation came out. Now they're trying to make a buck off of something. They're trying to exploit something and exploit a certain community or gender or race of people to make a buck. When it's all about the mighty dollar at the end of the day.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Today is also, Reno, Batman Day.
I think it's tomorrow, isn't it?
17th, September 17th.
Oh, it's today. It's today.
And today is the 17th.
Okay.
And guess what you can see? And guess what you can see in theaters today? Today only.
See Batman. You can see
Mask of the Phantasm.
and
Batman Returns.
Batman
Returns. Yeah, all 3 movies on one screen, showed at different times. If you live near a Cinemark, but the closest Cinemark to me is like down in Philly somewhere.
Yeah,
I ain't trying to get shot. Tonight going to see Batman. So
I do have a. That's what our theater is.
Man.
Shout out to Philly.
Big shout out.
But Batman Day is upon us, and yes, and it means that there's plenty of great announcements and stuff relating to Batman, and yes, one of those announcements definitely been made, and so if you're watching this, it's probably too late, but after this show, go to your nearest Cinemark. You can check out Batman Mask of the Phantasm. That's the animated joint, which I would love to see on a big screen, bro. That would be so cool. And then Batman 89 and Batman Returns. I don't know if they're gonna be only today, man, because I would love to see Batman 89 in the theater again. You know that movie.
I definitely would.
That's the movie that created the blockbuster. Like that was the first summer blockbuster that from that point on, that's when, you know, they started to try to drop these big movies, and it was Batman. It was a comic book movie, y'all. So don't forget that. It was a comic book movie that started the blockbuster craze.
Check this out. Check this out. There was another comic book movie that came out that same year. Can you guess what it was?
Which one?
Punisher. The Punisher.
In 89?
Punisher came out same year, yep.
No shit.
Yeah. And Batman.
Yeah, I didn't
but the Punisher was horrible. Punisher was horrible.
Oh, the shitty one.
Horrible.
Yeah, bro.
The first one with Dolph Lundgren. The Dolph Lundgren one came out that same year.
I didn't know that was 89. Okay. Yeah, you're right though. But yeah, Dolph Lundgren Punisher was like a tragedy, bro. Louis Gossett Jr. like it was not wasn't all that. I mean the Punisher movie that I liked that I thought was cool was War
John Travolta?
No. Was it the one with Ray Stevenson?
Yes, yeah, I think that's the one with John Travolta. That was the one we got that was good. The one where John Travolta.
Was it?
Yeah, I think that's the one you're talking about. Because they did mine is with Warzone. You talking about Warzone.
Warzone.
Yeah, Warzone.
Yeah,
Warzone. That was good.
That was the only one that I felt really captured the Punisher. You know, like that's like the other ones is like that's not how the Punisher is. Like Ray Stevenson, he killed that shit. Like he was the Punisher. Like that was, you know, how I would consider to see that's how I would imagine that the Punisher would be in live action. Not the guy they did the one with the John Travolta. That was what's his name? Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane.
He's a good actor, and I like his roles and stuff, but he doesn't scream, you know, Frank Castle to me. Like
people loved him. People loved him as Punisher.
I guess.
I agree. Listen, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying the fans loved him, man. They loved him as Punisher, man.
I thought that movie was not loved. I didn't think people liked that one.
Yeah, a lot of people like that one. A lot of casual fans like that one. The fans it didn't go over well with at all. Yeah, and Punisher is a perfect example of where things work in reverse, where Punisher has such a cult following of hardcore fans that if you gave us a true to life Punisher, I'm talking about the white boots, the white gloves, the white skull with the black unitard, and give us as much violence as we got in John Wick. Oh, bruh, listen, that'd be the best Punisher movie in the history of America. They always seem to tone it down. They always seem to take away. If John Wick can be that violent, why the hell can't we get a violent Punisher movie?
That's what I'm saying. Like, but I think it was, you know, Netflix probably is the one that put the kibosh on that, I guess. But I think if they would have made it a movie with John Barenthal, I think it would have been just as good as, or even better than the Warzone joint. Because John Barenthal played a great Frank Castle. It wasn't his fault that it wasn't a lot of violence in the show. You know, that was
not at all. It's the way it was written. Yeah, because Punisher, when you read Punisher comics, they're violent. Punisher ain't walking around crying about his family. Punisher ain't walking around thinking about his past. Punisher is plotting the next person to kill, vigilante style, that deserves to be punished. That's how Punisher get down. I mean, we gotta start a Kickstarter campaign, man. We can get it done. Raise the money and just make the movie, put it out.
Yeah, you would think so, Vigilante. You would think so.
Yeah, you would think so. Yeah.
But yeah, Carl Urban.
Right. What do you say? Punisher seems like a simple character.
Yeah, he seems like a simple character to get right.
It
You would
does,
think
and
so.
they've never gotten it right. First of all, Punisher's based in New York, and that movie with Dolph Lundgren, there were palm trees in New York, and there are no palm
Well,
trees in New York.
the John
Um,
Travolta one, they shot in Florida. They shot the John
right?
Travolta
Yeah,
Thomas
there was
Jane
the one
joint
in
in
Florida, right?
Tampa because I was there.
Right.
Yeah, I was there.
Punisher strictly operates out of New York.
Mhm.
Occasionally he'll go out of his zone and go catch somebody that needs to be caught somewhere else in the world. But for the
Right.
most part, he is in New York doing his thing. And he keeps a close eye on supervillains as well as superheroes. Because if
Mhm.
they get a line, they're gonna get punished too. And that's it's a lot you could do with it. But like I said, Punisher, you can't make a Punisher movie for the casual audience. You have to make a Punisher movie for the hardcore comic book fan. Because they're
What
gonna be the
about
ones that's gonna
yeah,
pump out the dough for it.
we should. Back to DC though. Back to DC.
Yeah. Back to DC. Back to
Um,
DC. So
Batman.
today's
So
Batman Day.
yes,
Batman
Batman Day.
Day.
And
What's your
yeah. So if you like me, and Stu, couldn't wait to see Michael Keaton, back as Batman. Um, you don't have to just go to the theater and check him out. Because yeah, he
check
was
him out?
meant to reprise his role as Batman in the Batgirl movie, but obviously it was cut, and so we don't get to see that one. And this led to a lot of shockwaves around the film world because a lot of people were confused by the move that the David Zaslav, the CEO, was making. Batgirl was going to be the return of Brendan Fraser as
Yep.
Firefly, which sadly won't happen. Even though Batgirl was canceled, though, DC might not be stuck in a holding pattern with the rest of its comic properties like Shazam 2, Aquaman 2, The Flash, and Black Adam are meant to shape the DC movie universe going forward. So that's kind of what. So Shazam 2, Aquaman 2, Flash, Black Adam.
Now wait a minute, Reno. We
however,
still wait a minute, Reno. Hold it. Wait. There's still issues with Aquaman. Don't they supposed to be doing reshoots? Didn't they kick the girl off the movie already? And they're supposed to be
I
doing
think
reshoots for that?
yeah, I think they no, but that's already been squashed. Like they're good to go now.
Because I heard Michael
Aquaman,
Keaton was supposed to be in that movie as well.
yes. Michael Keaton was supposed to be in there. Who else? Somebody else was supposed to be in there too. But yeah, it's everything is still good. I know you had Amber Heard, which they dealt with her. Willem Dafoe, Patrick Wilson, Dolph Lundgren, was speaking of Dolph Lundgren, Nicole Kidman, Jason Momoa, obviously. But currently it is all good to go December 25th, 2023. It is scheduled to be released. Yeah, Aquaman 2. Aquaman 2.
Damn, we gotta wait a whole year for that, bro. It's crazy.
Everything. Yeah, everything is gonna be next year. Like Aquaman 2, and Shazam 2 and all of that stuff. But that those are those will sort of give us the DC moving forward. Like if you like everybody's like, what's this DC gonna be? What's the DCU gonna look like? What's the 10-year plan? Blah 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 blah. So everything before Shazam 2, Flash, Aquaman 2, Black Adam is them sort of stumbling to get their footing, and then this is supposed to be where they live. It's supposed to be the DCU moving forward. So, and Matt Reeves has the Batman. He's also signed a multi-movie deal that will see Robert Pattinson return as Batman. That's official. And despite the issues that Warner Brothers Discovery may have presented itself with, we can all bask in the glory of the earlier films that helped shape the early days of superhero movies. Mask of the Phantasm, Batman Returns, all deserve another watch in the movie theaters. And so now you can, man, just go to your theater right now as soon as our show's over and check that shit out if you want to. But DC did announce that the annual DC Fandom event was canceled this year. But that could mean that we're going to be getting more announcements on Batman Day. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Check the internet. could be putting out shit now, but it's likely not the case. I mean, we've all been given small announcements on the Batman 2, the Penguin series,
Yep.
Joker
The
2.
Batman deserves it. The Batman deserves another shot. And I mean, I'm glad they did clarify that it's going to be his own thing, which is great, which means that we don't have to wait for the bull crap with the DCEU, and they can keep that going. And we might even get a third movie out of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's possible. And hopefully so. Hopefully so. And I did tell people that we're going to touch on House of the Dragon and Rings of Power today, because we keep trying to, and different shit happens. Before we do, though, thought this was interesting, because while we're talking about House of the Dragon and Rings of Power, and what we've talked about before is the fact that they've cast black and brown actors to play elves and hobbits, and apparently this is a problem for some people. Well, they also did they've remade The Little Mermaid as live action.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
and people got so
we do know, Reno, that Disney is very highly invested in making live action movies for all of their classic cartoons, every last one.
Right.
And Little Mermaid is the next one in the iteration.
That's right. That's right. And but let me get you this photo, because the people, I guess, were so mad that that they cast a black actress to play Ariel that they used AI to turn Hailey Bailey pretty much white. The Little Mermaid, starring Hailey Bailey, is definitely set to release May 26, 2023. The teaser trailer for the movie was recently released, but the movie, or rather the actress playing the role of Ariel, has been receiving a ridiculous amount of hate for her role, just like Rings of Power and a little bit of House of the Dragon. Representation has been, a very important focus for media of any sort in the current day. And with it, the evolution of what has been happening too should be reviewed and updated to match the times, be it a feminist angle to Camilla Cabello Cinderella, or diversifying Ariel and the Little Mermaid. What the audience has been responding with, they're not to be classified as fans, I will say, but rather just people who have been adding fuel to their ignorant behavior towards an actor and their craft. We saw it with Obi-Wan. Even though the show was whack, the reason that it was whack was not because a black actress was the main villain. That's irrelevant to it. That could have, but that's what some people will harp on. And, in the multimedia platforms that can give rise to more inclusivity and diversity, it's only fair for fairy tales of childhood to grow along with this progress as well. Fantasy, elves, hobbits, yes, it makes sense. It makes no sense for them to all be white. Are all humans white? So why would all elves be white? This doesn't make any sense. And, after the cast announcement of Hailey Bailey as Ariel in Little Mermaid, the actress was thrown with a boatload of negativity and hate. What seemed at first, to be a disagreement with the casting choice, soon grew into people being against how her version, the live action version of Ariel, would not be played by a white character. They stated how the casting wasn't lore accurate. Lore, it's fucking The Little Mermaid. The term lore accuracy has become a way for these fans to find issues with a person of color being cast in a role that was originally played by a white person. So watch out for that fucking code word, lore accurate, or it's not accurate to the lore, or whatever, because that's just code for it's supposed to be a white person. And Hailey Bailey herself has been the victim of a lot of racism. However, the actions taken by the audience after the release of the teaser trailer would be beyond any limit of disrespect imaginable for the actress and a person of color in general. The artificial intelligence covering Hailey Bailey. So after, hang on. After the latest trailer for the movie was up, some fans, have gone to lengths to make an AI change the trailer in many ways. As talented as a person she is, this AI has opted to create a new version of the trailer with Ariel as a white person. In fact, Bailey's face has been lightened by the AI. And I do not think that it's only fans doing this for the trailer. I think that she's been a little bit whitewashed just for the movie itself. I mean, you can see her there in the middle. She's brown. I mean, she's got a nice copper, tone. And there she is on the right as Ariel, clearly definitely lightened up quite a bit. And so you know what I'm saying? And they, this is not new. This is not something that Hollywood, has just done with this movie, by the way, guys. So if you're gonna jump out and say, "Oh, this and that," this has been done before. This is not new. And some of these people state that people of color cannot have ginger hair when they don't wish to check on facts and want anything to justify their points to support their prejudice. Obviously, we know that there are black people with red hair. I mean, it's just stupid, but the factor of lore accuracy plays no part in their arguments, either because in the original story of Ariel, written by the Grimm brothers, the mermaid was a lot darker than she would have been in the show, would have even, considered acknowledging, because she lives in the sea, but people that are at the beach a lot, we know, are pretty tan. So even, even if she was a Caucasian mermaid, she still would have been way darker than they made her. And, Hailey Berry is not Hailey Berry, Hailey Bailey is not the first actor to face, this kind of criticism, obviously. And, when the cast for Titans was announced, Anna Diop faced a lot of hate regarding her portrayal of Starfire as a dark-skinned character, which I never thought Starfire was white. She was an alien, and I thought she was
alien, right?
Gold or brown or something. Like she's
like a brownish color.
Yeah,
like a beige. She's like a beige. Her skin is like a beige color.
With like a little orange tint to it, like right? Like
like a little bit of orange tint to it.
Yeah. And Zendaya, she was a big victim, obviously, after she's playing MJ, because MJ is white, which is why she's not Mary Jane. She's MJ. But so that it's like, and I've said this before, if you're going to race swap a character, you can do that if it's not like a household name. Like, you're not going to make Peter Parker black. You'll just make Spider-Man black and have it Miles Morales. You're not going to make Bruce Wayne black, but you can make Batman black and just have it Lucius Fox, or what's his name?
Lucius Fox. I mean,
his son.
His son. Damn, what the hell is his name? I'm looking right at it too. I can't see it from here though. Don't have my glasses.
There you go. Yeah, so then The Sandman just came out, and that's a series that recently aired on Netflix. Experienced a lot of hate because the creators chose Kirby Howell Baptiste to play Death, a role which originally was played by a white girl. So and then the show kept getting instances of stating how they were drifting from the lore, with hers not being the only role to see a change in appearance and race. However, this stood to be meaningless, as Neil Gaiman himself, the writer and creator of the character and the show, was personally involved in its making and made these decisions himself. So you cannot tell me that you know better than the writer of the fucking material. If Neil Gaiman wrote it as a white character and now he's made it a black character, that's the writer literally making a creative decision. That's not Hollywood. That's not some agenda by the woke, whoever's. That's legit. That's as legit as they come. And the point which needs to be stated is that Hailey Bailey is a talented actress with a brilliant voice. And the director of the film is Rob Marshall, who has famously created a bunch of movies with aspects of music in them. And so we believe, as do many of her supporters, that Bailey is an excellent choice for the character. And this only builds more anticipation to see her in the role. As for, and a lot of these so-called, whatever's, critics, fans, whatever, would say is, well, I don't know, my little girls or my little daughter grew up on it being a white person or Ariel looking a certain way and they related to that and they really clung to that and they really, that really became a part of them.
I don't think they give a damn. If you
Well,
said
I'll tell you something
100, if
though,
you said
but
100, you said
you've
100
just made
kids,
my point for me
yeah,
because
yeah.
now should not black girls be able to do that with a character as well? So basically, that's exactly why they've made the character black is so that black girls could have that same connection with Ariel as white girls did in
It's
the
white
past.
girls, right? But here's
Why
my
not
thing,
let 'em?
Reno. If you sat down 100 children between the ages of 5, I'll take it back. I'll say 4 and 8. They're not gonna give a damn what color.
They don't care.
They don't care. They
Little
don't
kids
care.
do not care
It's the
because
parents that
racism is
do.
not natural. Racism is a learned behavior. It's not
No,
natural.
it's taught. It's a long behavior. Yeah, the kids are
Not
not gonna care.
natural.
They don't give a damn. Yeah, they don't give a damn. It's the parents that care, and the parents need to just let
Exactly.
the kids enjoy the fantasies that we give them.
That's right. And yeah, and so, but yeah, Ezra Miller, the Flash post credit scene is rumored to kick off Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, apparently. Not to totally change the subject because we're going to get back to Rings of Power in a second, but the Flash is coming 2023, and obviously, it's garnered a lot of recognition for mostly the wrong reasons. But owing to frontrunner Ezra Miller's legally controversial streak, the reputation of both the actor and the endeavor was tainted. However, with Warner Brothers Discovery showing no plans of shelving the very expensive project, it can be ascertained that the movie is headed for a swift release next year. But there's just no chance of them not putting it out. They've just spent way too much money on it. It doesn't matter. They've got to try and recoup something. And while many have grown weary and reluctant, in supporting the premise, despite the latest test screenings attesting to the quality of its narrative, what might reinvigorate the lost hope comes in the form of a much speculated and rumored post-credits scene. A few months ago, some rumors and reports pointed to how Ben Affleck's Batman will be featured in the Flash post-credit scene. In the scene, the Snyderverse Cape Crusader is set to find himself flung into the future, and at that point, he calls for the Flash that belongs to his timeline, requesting the Scarlet Speedster to come find him. Furthermore, inside sources affirm that Ben Affleck's superhero will be known in the Nightmare Realm. Will be shown in the Nightmare Realm. Many assume that this revelation will kickstart the highly anticipated and eagerly dreamt of Justice League 2. As we're all aware by now, the Ezra Miller-led endeavor will wholeheartedly bring about and embrace the concept of the multiverse in the realms of the DCEU. So this movie is not only important for their budget, it's important for the DCEU at large, because this is setting the precedent for their multiversal stuff. Without this movie, nothing ahead of it will make sense. They have to put this movie out. Flashpoint has to be told because it's setting up their time travel, their multiverse, their sort of, equivalent to Marvel's multiverse. So, while there's been no concrete confirmations about the release or production of a Zack Snyder created second installment of Justice League, Snyder's Justice League did end on a massive cliffhanger. And with the speculative implications of the merely rumored post-credit scene, perhaps the Flash is planting the seeds of this superhero team's return. I think there's got to be like something like this of why they would continue with this movie after all this shit. Like any other movie would have been tanked, would have been thrown away by now. Done. We wouldn't have even heard about it. But there's something about
done.
Yeah. And there's something about this movie beyond them just having spent money on it that they feel they have to put it out. And it's because of what takes place in Flashpoint, because of the setting up of the time travel and the multiverse and all that stuff that they're going to need to make the shit that they do in these upcoming movies make any sense at all. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, It's like I always said about the MCU and the multiverse. That's basically their license to retcon. It's their license to do whatever they want, fix anything they messed up, bring the mutants in, whatever. And so they kind of need that device. And DC wants that device. Oh, they want it bad. They can fucking taste it. So they got to
Remember too as well, it also brings up an issue of contracts. One of the problems we have right now with Deadpool is that and the whole Fox universe is that some of these actors were still under contract to play these roles in future movies. So now that Disney's acquired it, they have to find a way to either honor those contracts or not honor them. We know Hugh Jackman's coming back in some capacity as Wolverine. But as far as
Is
the
he?
X-Men, yeah, we just don't know what, and we don't know how, but we know he's
Probably
coming
like a
back.
cameo or something.
Yeah, and these actors have contracts to play these roles still, and you got to remember, the Fox cinematic universe
Oh, you're talking
was
about
still
X-Men. Yeah.
right. They were, and as far as the X-Men, yeah,
yeah.
a lot of those
That's
guys
why,
had
like,
contracts.
right. No, everybody's like, why haven't they done X-Men yet? Why haven't they done X-Men yet? They got the rights. Well, they got the rights of X-Men, but yeah, like you said, there's a lot of people still tied into contracts, and they have to wait for all that shit to kind of release before they can put these things out.
Right.
So
Right. And they can't put it out with the same characters and have somebody else because that's a lawsuit. Because let's say if Reno was supposed to play Cyclops or Wolverine,
right.
and then he did a movie. Now Disney
It's the
acquired them
character.
maybe 2-3 years ago. Now they're like, oh well, we're gonna get Stu to play Wolverine now. Now Reno can
Right.
say, well, whoa, regardless of what happened with the acquisition, I'm still under contract. Fox is still
Yeah.
Fox, but I'm still under contract with Fox. So you still have to honor my contract of me playing that character and not
Mhm.
getting somebody else to play it because now you guys want to go in a new direction. So they either have to, like you said, wait for the contract to roll out,
Yeah.
or they got to come out with a different version of the character.
Yeah.
Or so it's got to be something. And that's what's kind of taking long for Deadpool to come out. Is you had
Yeah.
people that were in the
Deadpool.
movie that were contracted to play those
And we
roles or
won't see
make another
Deadpool 3
appearance.
till 2025 at the soonest, probably.
Yeah, it's gonna be a minute. Well, I did hear Reno that they are um post production is done. They said not post production, pre production. They've done they got a story, they got everything.
Yeah, they just
But
haven't
as far
filmed
as
anything yet.
filming, right, filming and all that, no. They won't even
Mm.
start filming until maybe mid next year. So you're right, yeah, we won't see
Mhm.
Deadpool until like 25, 24, 25, the latest. But they
Yeah,
haven't
I
even
read
filmed it.
somewhere that they're shooting for 25. I read that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, going in line with the rumors of a Ben Affleck, a Batfleck solo movie, sources have affirmed that Ben Affleck would not be the one to direct it. Allegedly, the actor and filmmaker would much rather have Zack Snyder tackle the premise, as he reportedly only trusts that director's vision on Batman. So the source also stated how Warner Brothers Discovery may plan to provide Snyder with the creative control that he's always yearned for. So it could be good stuff all around, man. I have not I haven't like given up on DC yet. I haven't given up on
I haven't
Marvel or
either.
DC because I think
Not
they
me either.
both, yeah, I think they just hit a fucking rough patch, and a lot of it had to do with quarantine and all that stuff. But it is what it is, man. And I know you got to go fight crime right now, right?
Yeah, it's about that time. Yeah.
8:20.
Yeah, I got less
Yeah.
than an hour to get there.
Yeah. Nah,
Get mine.
we had some guests and shit that were supposed to come on, but they weren't coming till later. And unfortunately, I kind of have to call it because we're going over. So everybody, I want everyone, if you can, to follow me over to Instagram on Cooks 24 channel. We're doing a little show on there. It's gonna be me, Cooks, and OG Lee, and Stu you if you can, but I guess you can't.
Nah, man. You know what? I don't know, Reno. We'll talk about it backstage.
All right. Let me I want to give people the address. All right, so let me put it in. Always, wait, is it Z? Yeah, always with a Z. Cooks with a Z 24. All right, y'all. So go to Instagram and go to that Instagram thing. I think about I'm thinking it's gonna be later though, like maybe like 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 or 10. So maybe in like an hour or two. But just check on it, man. Yeah, that's the link, guys. So check it. And trying to see. Oh, yeah. See, I had some shit I wanted to show, man. I guess we'll have to do that on the next
We do it
show.
Monday. We can knock it out Monday, man.
Monday we
Monday's
got
our day. Yeah, that's our day. We chop it up. Let's
Monday is
chop it
gonna
up,
be
man.
a big hip hop, more of a hip hop and comics show. Yeah. All right, yeah, Slade. I'll see you over there, bro. But yeah, guys. So check us out. We'll be back Monday. Every Monday, every Wednesday, every Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same bat time, same bat channel. You know where we at. Come fuck with us. All right, y'all. Have a great weekend. Have a great Batman day. And I will see y'all Monday. Peace.
Peace.